Hi everyone. So I want to continue with yesterday's video about choosing to be happy and to point out how children have this ability when they're born. That, of course, children lose this ability, and this ability is to choose to be happy, or even to choose however they are, how they feel their experience. And where's the evidence for this claim? The evidence is when children when they find something they enjoy, they want to repeat doing it over and over and over and over again. And I remember this very clearly for myself, my experience. And I also remember in general my experience when I was about 6 or 5 years and younger, where I would simply decide to have fun and decide to be happy, decide to be this, and that was my decision. I lived that, and that's all that I was, and that was my experience. And so when I found something I enjoyed, you could say, that I liked, I would continuously always like it forever, and I'd be willing to do it forever, and I would do it forever, and it would usually annoy adults, of course. And of course, for adults, it seems strange, right? For adults, it becomes normal that you get bored of something. Of course, it happens younger, like it's already evident in teenage years. It's already evident when you're 12 years old. And nowadays, it seems to be even younger, like maybe even 4 or 3 starts to happen, where children imitates adults, pick up the programming, pick up the personality of being bored and wanting new things and wanting what's new all the time. Another example I can point out is with the tribes people who live in nature, natives, that, you grow up in nature and, you don't have the rest of technology or society, and you will always enjoy the rain. You will always enjoy the sun. You'll always enjoy the wind, the weather. You always enjoy nature. Always. It never gets boring. It never gets old. And that's something that children also have, and also will lose, most likely, as they turn into adults already at a young age, like at 4 or 5. And then, of course, you'll see this when children want what's new. They want the new thing. They want this new thing. And they're simply being adults at that point. They've picked up our programming. Because what do us adults feel like? We always want what's new and different. Instead of being able to choose to be happy and just always be happy. And it's possible because that's how we all originally were, all of us. Every single one of us was like that, where we had that ability. And I claim that we all have that ability still. And we will always have that ability. Because it's simply part of being alive. It's part of existing. As something or someone that exists, you have the ability to decide your own experience. You have the ability to decide to be happy. Or whatever experience you choose. That's within your power. That is. And you can even try this for yourself. Find one activity. Take any activity. It can be as little as, looking at your nails, looking at your hand, or something as big as, practicing some mountain climbing. I don't know. Any activity. Anything. And just do that activity repetitively. I mean, you can obviously pick something that's more annoying if you want a little more challenge. But pick some activity and do it continuously. Over and over again. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Repeat it until you get bored and annoyed. And then once you get to that point, find a way where you decide to be happy, where you decide to enjoy yourself. And if you're able to do that, well, there you go. There's the proof right there. And then you can take that into the rest of your life, where you can just simply decide to be happy in everything you do, or simply decide to enjoy yourself, or decide to be peaceful, or decide to be calm, or decide to be whatever, with any word you want to pick. Decide to be loving, decide to be caring, or decide to be any word. That's what it means to be a human being, to be alive. And I observe that pretty much all of us, like 99.99999% of us, don't really have this ability. So I claim that therefore we are not yet humans. We are not yet alive and being like a human being. Once we're able to decide our own experiences, decide who we are, who we be in the moment, then I will say we're a human being, because then we realize our potential as human beings is what it means to be a human being. Right now, very young children are human beings, and some people who live within nature, who live in that very physical way, are human beings. But the rest of us, who are within the mind, who are within the emotions of annoyance, of irritation, of frustration, of anger, of not being good enough, of boredom, of depression, of jealousy, of reactiveness, of uncaring or unconsideration, or whatever point where we cause harm and destruction to ourselves and others through our words, through our actions, through our interactions. We're not human beings yet, but we can be, because we were born that way, but we moved away from that. What I'm talking about here is something that goes very deep, because let's say you decide not to walk this process of becoming a human being, of being able to decide your own experience, and actually deciding that. If you decide not to walk this process, then you might think that, okay, well, I don't need this ability. I can just create my life, create my environment, have a family, have a job, make a better world, and focus everything on the outside, so that my reality, my bubble, my home is good, and therefore I can feel good about that. If you actually decide to walk that process instead, where you focus on your environment and on finding the right people and finding the right job and finding the right moments outside of you, then here's what I'll predict is going to happen for you. And you can choose to perhaps take this prediction as a warning, where you will instead walk the process of deciding your experience, or you can choose to wait until the prediction comes true, if it comes true. I'll be fair in that, within, let's say, reasonable doubt, if this prediction comes true. But if it does come true, then I would, if I were you, seriously consider walking this process of deciding your own experience. So here's my prediction. So if you decide to focus on your environment, to make everything outside of you good for you, good so that you're able to feel good about that, make everything peaceful on earth, whatever it may be, having secure income, having everything positive, good, positive people, everything. If that's where you will derive your sense of good, because like I said, you decided to not walk the process of simply deciding to be happy, deciding your own experience, your own decision. Therefore, your happiness, your inner experience must come from outside of you, from your environment. If you're not the one deciding it, right? So, what I predict is you'll have moments of frustration, even with everything you have. You'll have moments of frustration, irritation, annoyance, jealousy, anger, sadness. You will have such moments, and it will even be directed towards the people that are good in your life. It will even be directed towards your good home, your good job, your good income. It will be directed, blamed towards everything that you actually were trying to make and create your life to be around that would make your life good. So you'll have these emotional experiences, and you will try to be good. You could say you'll try to feel good. You'll try to find new ways, new people, new homes, new environments, new entertainment, new music, new TV shows, new books, new topics, new of everything you can possibly find, so you can find something else that's good. Because all the things you had so far were bad, and they led to all these frustrations, emotions, irritations, anxiety, stress, anger, jealousy, blame. So you will then look for what's new, and you may or may not find it, and along the way you will actually speak out your blame. You will actually speak out your frustration. You'll speak out your annoyance. You'll speak out your anger, your anxieties, your fears, your nervousness. Everything that you had experienced, you will start speaking it to others. You will find someone, and then you'll tell them that they were wrong for doing this, and you will blame them, and you'll speak to them with an anger that they shouldn't have done this, and you'll feel irritated with them. You will begin to speak your anger, perhaps at first very subtly, giving hints and trying to be kind and being caring, but then it will evolve to become more frustrated, more anger, more irritated, more annoyed. Perhaps at this point you'll have kids already, and so you'll see your child do something wrong, and perhaps at first you're being very kind and very nice, but then you'll start slipping within the anger, within the frustration, within the annoyance. And because you're not deciding your own experience, you'll start experiencing these emotions and then start speaking them to your child. You will tell them how they were wrong or they were bad. At first you may be gentle, but then it will get worse. And you will express your fears. You will express your anxieties. You will express your nervousness and worry towards them. And then they will then take on the points. What I predict is that everyone around you, everyone in your life, everyone who you speak to within this anger, within this blame, within this nervousness, within all these emotions, which is inevitable, that everyone you'll speak to, that it will affect them. That everyone you speak to, that they will hear your nervousness, hear your anxiety, hear your blame, hear your points, and they will start living it. They will start feeling the same way, the same anger. It's like your voice will become a tuning fork, which the rest of the tuning forks will take on the same sound. So you'll speak within the anger, within the frustration, within annoyance, within irritation, within blame, anger, and then others will feel the same way. They will feel fear, they will feel anger, they will feel frustration, they will feel annoyance. And so they will take on the same points. And then that person, as they grow up, or as they continue their day, as they live, they will also equally walk the same path as you do. They will also equally repeat your life. They will repeat the same points of deciding to not decide their own experience. They'll make the same decision to decide to not decide what their inner experience is. Instead, they will look to the environment. They will look to the external situation to find happiness. They will look for jobs. They will look for people. They will look for relationships. They will look for cars, houses, drugs, sex. They will look for everything and anything outside of them. Everything and anything that's external, that's in this world. They will look for that to be their point of happiness, to be their point of stimulation, to feel good, to feel fulfilled, to feel positive, to feel nice. Just like you have done. And I predict that one day you will do things that really harm another. And you will in a moment see the harm you have done towards others. And you will see that you were responsible. You will see that you were the one that spoke. You're the one who spoke with the anger and the frustration, with the irritation, with the annoyance. And you will see that that caused consequence. That caused harm to another person's life. You will realize that every single moment you spoke with an anger, with an frustration, with an irritation, with an annoyance, within any point where you are supporting another to dedicate their lives for external happiness, for external solutions, for everything outside of them as the answer, you will then realize that you caused great harm. And then you may decide from there to live for yourself, looking for solutions from within yourself, being the solution, being the happiness, being the care, being the loving, being the support, being the understanding, being the calmness, being the peace, where you be that which is best for you, best for those around you, and so best for everyone. Where you are simply that one thing that is best for all. By being happy, you are being what's best for all. Because by being happy, by deciding your own inner experience, you are showing that that's the answer. That not looking outside of you for the answer, for fulfillment, for happiness. Instead, you simply, in this moment right now, decide to be happy. You're showing to another that that's what real happiness is. That's what real fulfillment is. When you actually decide your own inner experience. And you're no longer looking for things outside of you to change, to try to change what's outside of you in order to decide what your experience is. And imagine then what would happen if you decide to be happy, if you decide you're an experience, and then you live that every day. Those around you will see that you are deciding to be happy. You are deciding to be your own experience. And then they will start copying you. You will start speaking to others and talking about deciding your own inner experience, deciding to be happy, deciding to be joyful, deciding to be calm, be at peace. And then others will start doing the same. Your children would start doing the same. Your friends, your family, your co-workers, everyone in your life will start doing the same. And then they will live the point. And then everyone in their lives will start doing the same, where eventually all of us will be deciding our own inner experience, where we will stop looking for outside of us, in our world, in reality, outside of us for that fulfillment. And then, because who we are, because our inner experience is something that we decide, because that is the case, then everything that's in this reality, we start realizing that we should not change the reality outside of us. We should not change the external world, or should not try to change other people so that it can make us feel good, so that we can feel happy, so that we can feel good, fulfilled, purpose, so that we can feel things. And then we realize that instead we should just do what's best for each thing in this reality, and no longer decide the fate of reality, the fate of the world, the fate of those around us, based on whether it makes us feel good and fulfilled and happy. Instead, the most obvious answer, because since we already feel good, since we already are happy, since we already are fulfilled, is simply do what is best for everyone. Do what's best for this plant and this person. Do what's best for this house. Do what's best for this environment, in this place, in this city, in this town. Do what's best for these people. Simply doing what's best for each one as their physical health, their physical well-being, the physical well-being, the physical development, everything that is really best for them. And that, of course, includes showing that deciding your own inner experience is the answer, that looking for outside of you, for fulfillment, for happiness, for purpose, for all these words, is not the answer. Because as long as we accept that, then we will continue trying to change others, trying to change reality, trying to change the environment, the world, just so that we can feel happy, just so that we can feel good. Currently, 99.9999999% of us are not human beings, are not living their potential, or what it means to be a human being. We are not. So right now, our decisions within buying cars, buying houses, having families, having children, choosing hobbies, choosing TV shows, choosing movies, choosing games, all our decisions, what we eat, what we drink, all the decisions in our lives are based on what makes us personally feel good. What creates happiness from the environment. And therefore it's the wrong decision each and every single time. Because when we have children, when we have houses, when we have families, when we have cars, when we have food and water, we will then choose to make things feel good for us, and that will cause harm. We will try to change children so that it makes us feel good and secure and happy. We will try to change our cars so that makes us feel good and happy. We will change our smartphones so that makes us feel good and happy. We will change our homes so it makes us feel good and happy. We will change the environment, the earth, the air quality, the water quality. We will change all these things as a result of whatever it is that makes us happy. And even if we decide that maybe we should just make everything what's best for all, and that what makes me happy, even if that is our decision, the truth is that you won't be happy, because right now everything is not best for all, and it won't be for quite a while, and so therefore you'll be unhappy. So really the only point of what's best for all that you can live when it comes to happiness is to simply decide to be happy, and that you decide your own inner experience. And therefore it's not dependent on the environment, it's not dependent on the state of things, on the reality of things. It's not dependent on your car, your house, your family, children, or anything. It's only dependent on your decision. You decide your own inner experience. This is what it means to take self-responsibility for your emotions and for your feelings and for your own inner experience. Taking responsibility means, in this context, that you are deciding your own inner experience. You're taking responsibility for your experience. You're not putting the responsibility on someone else. You're not putting the responsibility on your car, on your house, or this guy or that guy who wrecked your car, or this guy or that guy who stole from your house, or how your children behave, or the children of your or the teachers of your children, or their schools, or society, or humanity, or anything or anyone. Where you put the responsibility of your own inner experience, you put the responsibility of your own happiness to your self, where you are the one responsible. Because you can decide to be happy, and you are deciding to not decide your own inner experience, unless you do. Living in this way is true freedom. You will not any longer be making decisions of who your friends are, of who your partners are, of what job you have, of what things you have, based on whatever that makes you happy, whatever that makes you feel good. You will always feel good, you could say. You will always be happy. You will live happiness as a decision. You will live joy, wonder, curiosity, care, support, marvel, amazement, awesomeness, splendor, graciousness. So many words you can live. You always live that way because it's your choice to. And imagine if everyone in your world, everyone in this one world, lived this way. Imagine if we all took responsibility for our inner experience and decided what our inner experience is. Imagine that. I mean, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships or partners, lovers, when it comes to family, to children, society, citizens, governments, the economy, everything would radically change. Because we're no more trying to change others, change the environment, change things around us so that makes us feel good. Instead, we're there to support unconditionally. We're there because it is what's needed, because it's what's best for everyone. We support, we in every moment enjoy each other. We could be simply sitting in a room and enjoying ourselves, not necessarily even doing anything. It's like being a child again, where you would endlessly enjoy watching the clouds, enjoying the sun, enjoying the trees, enjoying nature, enjoying drinking a glass of water, eating the same food you eat every day. You'll enjoy that just as you did the very first time you ate it. You'll enjoy everything, the movement of your body. You'll enjoy exercise. You'll enjoy sitting. You'll enjoy breathing. Everything is then no longer defining your inner experience, but your inner experience is actually defining your inner experience, and that you simply are being here with everything in this reality, and being here with that, with it. You really are with the food, really with the water, with air, with the earth, with nature, with everything, with everyone. You're really here with everyone and everything. And it's a completely different living. Very different. So that was my prediction. So if you would like more perspectives, if you would like more insights into what it means to decide your own experience, start looking at self-forgiveness, which you can learn about through Desteni, desteni.org. Start looking at what it means to live, to direct yourself, to decide your inner experience through movement, through forgiving the resistances, forgiving the fears, forgiving the anxieties, forgiving the nervousness, forgiving the angers, on how to decide your own inner experience and moment, to be happy because you decided, to be peaceful because you decided, to take on a responsibility within focus, or within whatever word you want, whatever word you see is effective for you. And that about living words, you can look at SOUL, which is an acronym for School of Ultimate Living. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye.